Hello, this is Miss Monali Kodambi from Gundecha Education Academy, Oshiwara. Today, we are going to continue with our chapter, Our Body in Science. Let me see if you all remember what we did last time. Yes, so our body is made up of millions and millions of cells. A lot of cells come together to form a tissue. A lot of tissues come together to form an organ, and a lot of organs come together to form an organ system. This is a very important thing, and I want each one of you all to remember this flowchart. Yeah, so this time I've also added a few pictures for you to understand it better. So this is the excretory system, where there is one muscle cell. The muscle cells came together to form a muscle tissue. The muscle tissue came together to form the organ, which is the urinary bladder in this case. And urinary bladder is a part of your excretory system. Okay. Yeah, so the muscular system helps us to move, made up of muscles. So this is a gist of what we did. Let's start with a new system and the last organ system, which is the respiratory system. So we all need this particular system immensely because what does the system do? It basically keeps us alive. It gives you the oxygen that you need. So breathing is a process by which your body takes in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. Simple, but let's see how this exactly happens. So there are three organs which are primarily involved in the respiratory system. First is your nose, second is your windpipe, and third are your lungs. So what is the function of the nose? Simple. We all take in air through your noses. Yeah, so we breathe in from our nose. That's the only external, no, that's not the only, so you can also take in from your mouth. So yeah, so nose is an external opening of the respiratory system. It helps us to breathe or take in air, and it also has tiny hair inside which also filters the air. So it traps the dirt and the dust particles in your nose and stops it from going into your lungs. Then, once the air enters your nose, it then goes into this tube or this pipe called as the windpipe. So, like the way a pipe works, so it just takes the air from the nose into your lungs. So, a windpipe is a tube through which the air we breathe in reaches our lungs. Simple till here? Everybody clear? Superb. Now, moving on to the next important organ that helps you to breathe or respire are the lungs. 7 simple points to remember. You have 2 lungs situated in your chest cavity, and they are protected by a rib cage because they are delicate internal organs. So what do your lungs do? Your lungs absorb the oxygen from the air and gives it to the blood. Okay, and then this blood goes to different parts of the body and delivers the oxygen. Now it doesn't stop there. So your body also produces carbon dioxide, which is then given back to the blood, and the blood takes it back to your lungs, and the lungs send it out of your body as a waste material. So the air that you breathe out has carbon dioxide, and the air that you breathe in has a mixture of all the gases. So your lungs only absorb oxygen and gives out all the other gases, including the carbon dioxide that your body has already produced. Yeah. Moving on. So it's not as simple as it sounds. So it happens in just 2 easy steps. Inhalation, which means to breathe in, and exhalation, that is to breathe out. So what exactly happens when you breathe in? It sounds pretty simple, but there is a lot happening in your body. So when you breathe in, your rib cage is pulled outwards. Why? Because it has to make space for your lungs. Your lungs are like balloons. Yeah. So your lungs need to expand. So they have to expand, and that's why their rib cage is pulled out. Under your rib cage is a muscle called the diaphragm. So the diaphragm also flattens. There's one arrow going downwards. That's where the diaphragm is. In the diagram next to it, that maroonish thing, what you see is the diaphragm. So when you breathe in, the diaphragm becomes flat and your rib cage is pulled outwards and your lungs expand. So the air enters our body through our nose, reaches the lungs through the windpipe. The lungs absorb the oxygen from the air, and the blood carries this oxygen to all parts of the body. The taking in of air through the nose is called inhalation. And when we inhale, the diaphragm contracts, the chest cavity expands, and this creates space for the lungs to expand. This is exactly what I spoke about. In the lungs, oxygen from the air is absorbed into the bloodstream. At the same time, oxygen from the blood moves to the lungs. Remember exhaling so that the carbon dioxide from your body is thrown out. Yeah, so that after you inhale the air, you also need to take it out of your body. So breathing out is called exhalation. So giving out of air through the nose is called exhalation. When you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes, the chest cavity contracts, and this reduces the space for the lungs and it pushes the air out of your lungs. The air we breathe out contains carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is given out as a waste product from our body. Simple. What happened in inhalation? Exactly the opposite happens in exhalation. Now, to understand this better, I have actually given links after the whole presentation is over, and I want you to click on the links and try those deep breathing exercises. Yeah. So when you breathe in, your lungs become bigger and the diaphragm is flattened. When you exhale or you breathe out, the lungs become smaller. Imagine your lungs to be like balloons. Yeah. So when you put air in the balloons, they expand. When you probably compress the balloon again, the air goes out. That's what's happening every time you breathe in. Yeah. So this is how your lungs and the diaphragm look when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out. So trachea is nothing but a scientific name for windpipe. Okay. We were just talking about deep breathing. So it's very important to breathe properly, or rather do deep breathing, because oxygen is what keeps us alive. So taking an enough amount of oxygen is extremely important. So deep breathing also relaxes the body and mind. And if we perform deep breathing exercises daily, we can even live longer. Let's start from today. Yeah. Rather promise me that you all are going to do deep breathing exercises every day from today onwards. Very simple, and there are different types of deep breathing exercises. Here I've just given one example, but in the link you will find a couple of them. So you just have to sit in a comfortable position with your back straight. Breathe in slowly through your nose and concentrate on your breathing. I mean, you have to understand that the cold air is getting into your nose and then it's entering your lungs and your chest is expanding. Count till 4 once the air is in, and then exhale to the count of 4. Just do this 5 times a day and you're really going to see a change. Promise me, yeah? Okay. There's also a lot of air pollution which causes a lot of respiratory problems, and that is why we have to study about that as well. Now the air we breathe has to be clean, but if we breathe in dirty air, we become ill. And how does the air become dirty? Because of air pollution. What is air pollution? It is the presence of dirt or dirty things in the air or substances in the air that are unsafe for us to use. So air pollution is the presence in the air of substances that make it dirty and unsafe to use. Air becomes polluted or dirty due to the presence of dust, harmful gases, and smoke in it. Both human and natural activities cause air pollution. Even natural events that pollute air include forest fires, eruptions of volcanoes, And human activities, I'm sure we all know, of, of which four are the most essential ones. First is the burning of fuels. That means using cars and it giving, and I'm sure all of us have seen that smoke coming out of the cars, and yeah, it is very, very polluting. So today there are millions and millions of cars and bikes and trucks and other vehicles on the road, and most of them run on petrol and diesel. So the burning of these fuels releases these harmful gases that make the air dirty. Try rolling down the windows of your class when you all are traveling out of Mumbai. Yeah, uh, in the city, see how it feels, and then once you're out of the city, see how it feels. You can see a drastic difference between that. When you roll down the windows when you're in Mumbai, you are suffocated. That you don't want to breathe in that dirty air. But when you're in the outskirts of Mumbai, in some beautiful forest, passing through some greenery and roll your windows down, you will feel the difference of polluted areas and non-polluted areas. The next cause of pollution is smoke and gases from the factories. So the smoke and gases that are released by the factories also cause a lot of air pollution. I don't know if you'll have ever noticed, if you all have gone to Vadala, there are a lot of factories with long chimneys, and you will always see dirty smoke coming out of there. And literally, there was a survey done there, and the research said that people living in that area, most of them had got respiratory disorders, right from asthma to bronchitis. So, yes, it does affect our health drastically. Next is bursting of crackers. Yes, the bursting of crackers during festivals and weddings also cause a lot of pollution. I'm sure I know you all are good children and you all don't burst in a lot of crackers. Yeah, great. The next is smoking cigarettes. Smoking also causes a lot of air pollution and heart problems for the person who's smoking also, and people around the smoker as well. So this smoke can actually damage your lungs very badly because it's directly getting into your system. So we should avoid standing near people when they are smoking as well. Now, what are the problems that are caused due to air pollution? First, when we breathe in polluted air, harmful substances enter our body and make us sick. Yeah, it can damage our lungs, skin, eyes, and even cause headaches. I'm sure you all must have experienced the eye part. Your eyes start burning and watering if the air is too dirty, if you're in a very polluted place. A lot of times you also get headache. I don't know if you'll have experienced it. I hope you'll have not, but yeah. Also, it causes asthma and other breathing problems. So I actually have one baby living in my building. He's barely 1 year old or so, and his mother has to check the air quality every single day to take him down to the garden because he has asthma because of the pollution in the air. So only if the air quality is moderate, she takes the baby down, otherwise she cannot. And she has that air purifier in the house running 24 hours so the baby doesn't get affected. So imagine where we have reached. Look at the amount of breathing problems that exist. Yeah. So polluted air doesn't just harm us, but it even harms the plants and animals. So let us all collectively take measures and not pollute the air. Don't worry, we will study about this later on. So now we are through with the chapter, and here are some fun links with deep breathing exercises that I want all of you to do. So take your mamas and dadas help and watch these videos and make it a regular practice. Trust me, it will really help you all calm down, concentrate better, and of course get your oxygen. Yeah? So I hope you all enjoyed my video as much as I enjoyed taking it, and yes, I totally miss teaching all of you all in person, but don't worry, we will do that soon. All of you stay home, stay safe, and this is Miss Manali signing off from today's online learning. Bye bye. Good night.